It's Thursday, February 4th, 2021. Wow, things continue to just get more and more crazy. Markets across the board all up. Dow Jones closes up over 330 points today. And an article right here on CNBC says this: a better than expected jobless claims report helped boost sentiment. First-time claims for unemployment insurance totaled 779,000 for the week ended January 30th, below the 830,000 estimate. So this positive sentiment that we only had 779,000 Americans file first-time unemployment claims last week, this is what helped to propel the stock market today. This is what they're telling us. This is the twilight zone we are now in. It just continues to get worse, ladies and gentlemen. So here we are today. Jobless numbers come in at 779,000 claims. Yet markets across the board are up. Dow Jones surging up over 330 points today. If these markets were real, if they were free, if they were not manipulated, we would have seen a crash today with these kind of numbers. We'd be seeing crashes weekly with these kind of jobless claims that we're seeing. This whole thing is so fake. This Ponzi scheme is continuing to melt up. And look, people can laugh, they can joke, they can brag about how much money they're making, but the price we are going to pay for all of this is going to be absolutely horrific. The stock market is now broken for all to see. So while the economy is collapsing, while we are losing 800,000 plus jobs a week, everything is okay because the stock market is going up. Dow Jones sitting at an all-time high. But this stock market has been broken for a while. An article on wolfstreet.com, I'm just going to paraphrase through a little bit of it, made a couple good points. The stock market has been broken for a while. It's been broken for a long time, actually. The idea that the stock market is where price discovery takes place on a rational, transparent basis with ups and downs and some amount of chaos, but free of rampant manipulations. That idea now has totally imploded because it is nothing but manipulated at this point. I cannot even believe that what I'm watching, what I'm reading, 779,000 jobless claims last week. And this is actually good news. Here it is, right there on CNBC. Jobless claims better than expected last week and lowest in 2 months. I mean, think about how crazy this is, that they're trying to make 779,000 jobless claims look like a good thing. This is how bad things are. This is how sick things have become. American Airlines warns 13,000 employees of furloughs as airlines prepare to lose federal aid next month. The latest round of payroll support expires March 31st for some of these airlines, American Airlines being one of them. Business is down 60 to 70%. If they do not get another bailout, expect to see 13,000 furloughed just with American, and many more will be also furloughing at the end of March if they do not get a bailout. But more than likely, look, this whole thing now is nothing but bailouts, money printing, rent moratoriums, mortgage forbearances, auto forbearances, college tuition forbearances. Everything now is just putting off the inevitable, kicking the can down the road. When reality comes to America, when reality comes to this economy, God help us how bad this is going to be. And look, the more they melt this whole system up, the more they melt these markets up, the worse the devastation and destruction is going to be. We didn't want to pay the price back in 2008, so we kicked the can down the road here. Here we are in 2021. Who knows if this is the year? Is it going to be next year? I don't know. Nobody has the answer. Nobody has the crystal ball. But we know one thing. All bubbles pop, and this one is not going to be any different. You know, everybody says it's different this time. They always say that before the next bubble pops. It's different this time. It can't happen. I promise you, it is going to happen. 98% of you watching this video know it's going to happen. This is why you continue to prepare. Look at how they smashed gold and silver today. Absolutely decimated the metals. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but everything we're watching completely verifies why you better be buying them. Why you better be buying more gold and more silver. And isn't it amazing? You can't even buy it today. Expect delays if you even find it. And look at the prices. Look at the premiums. CNBC today. Another reason for third stimulus checks. Jobless benefits not reaching 8 million people. Clearly the system is broken. Clearly the system is overheating. And clearly they cannot stop. They cannot control what is happening. Everything is out of control, ladies and gentlemen. All they can do is put off the inevitable, but at some point reality is coming to the economy. The reality is coming to the stock market. Reality is coming to the average American's life. Get ready to watch your standard of living collapse. Around 1 in 4 unemployed workers received benefits in the last 2 weeks. That's only 25%. Around 8 million people, 8 million jobless people aren't getting aid. And I bet that number is much higher than 8 million. Bottom line, 3 out of 4 people who are out of work are not getting help. Washington's answer is just send more stimulus checks. People are talking right here in California, EDD, the unemployment system here, that they're not even answering their phones. They're closed. You go to the website and you wait. And people are continuing to wait for help. The system is closed down here in California because they can't even keep track with the amount of people filing for unemployment. Millions of people haven't even gotten help in months. And what we're seeing now in America is a two-tier system. Without a doubt. You have the very, very rich at the top and the middle class being absolutely decimated in the middle. And we're seeing the population of more and more poor people, poor Americans. That number continues to rise. More than 2/3 of Americans support the president's $1.9 trillion relief plan, poll finds. Well, of course, they're broke. 2019. 80% of America was living paycheck to paycheck. 2020, people weren't even getting paychecks. They were getting unemployment with $600 benefits, then $300 benefits. Now, what's going to happen in 2021? What happens if the money runs out? People are getting more and more desperate, more and more dependent on the government for money, more and more dependent on the government for food. Income inequality going through the roof at all-time highs, and we're seeing wealth inequality at all-time highs. So opportunity inequality, income inequality or wealth inequality at all-time highs. This, as we are heading in deeper into this depression, this is a very, very bad combination heading into this collapse. What do people do when they have no food, when they don't have enough money, when they're losing their homes, when they don't see a future, when they don't have that opportunity? You know, when people don't have a self-worth, yes, there are people that will sit on the couch, love to stay home, play video games and watch Netflix and get free money. They're never going to get ahead. They're always just going to have enough to get by. There's plenty of people like that. But there are millions of people who don't want to sit at home. They want to go out. They want to produce. They want to make something. They want to have that sense of pride. They want that sense of pride of getting that paycheck at the end of the week, pay their bills, have enough money left over to save a little bit, take their family out to dinner. What happens when that disappears? And where is all the money going to come from if we're going to forgive student loan debt, If we're going to hand out stimulus checks to everybody, and look, I'm not against helping people. People need help. There's no doubt about it. We should have never been in this situation to begin with. If we were manufacturing, if we were creating jobs, if people were making a good wage, if we weren't dependent on other countries, and if we weren't dependent on slave labor, and if we weren't putting our money to the moon and it actually bought something, people wouldn't be in this situation right now. 0% interest rates. Well, it sounds great, doesn't it? Until you put your money in the bank and you're actually now paying the bank to hold your money. The hedge today. Market rips after Romney pitches up $4,200 handouts for kids. So here's another reason market's up today, because Mitt Romney is pitching more free money. These markets don't care about the 790,000 jobless claims. What it cares about is the money, the stimulus. Romney's proposal would provide $4,200 per year for every child up to the age of 6, as well as $3,000 per year for every child ages 6 to 17. So my question is, if they want to do that, how come they just don't all buy us a house, all buy us a Lambo, and all just put $100,000 in our bank account and we'll have a nice day? How come we don't just get that? I mean, if it's just that easy to print money and we're just going to forgive debt and we're not going to care about federal debt and we're just not going to care about all the money printing, how come we just don't get a house and a Lambo? Think about it. General Motors hit by chip shortage will cut production at 4 plants. This, again, is another problem when we are reliant on other countries for products like semiconductors, like chips. So now that we have a chip shortage, companies like Volkswagen, Ford, Subaru, Nissan, and Toyota all will be shutting down various numbers of plants. And this means more Americans will not be working. More Americans will be standing in line for an unemployment check. More Americans will be calling the EDD office where nobody answers. And they will be waiting weeks, maybe months, for a check. JP Morgan, a lot of talk of this. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night, and this has been floating around the internet, that JP Morgan may flood the silver market with a lot of paper. Now, we saw silver and gold get absolutely smashed today, and now this rumor that JP Morgan is going to smash it even more. My advice, and I'm not going to give you any financial advice, but the advice that I'm going to give myself here is if they do that, I'm backing up the truck. Right now, I will be making more purchases of mining stocks and of physical metals because of this dip. And if they want to play this game, I'm going to play this game. They want to lower prices, good, lower prices. But take a good look. I looked at Random Year Eagles today at 3 different sites. And they're running about $36 to $38. Buffaloes were running around $33, and expect delays. You're not going to just get it today. But if they want to slam prices, good luck. But it seems like the physical price is not the same as the paper price. And you know, people will sit there and go, oh, look at silver. Oh, look at. But back in March of 2020, silver was in the $12 range. It's still above $26 today. So I'm going to just continue to buy it and play the game. I would much rather be holding physical assets, physical metals with everything going out. Look, all this stimulus, the real estate bubble, the housing bubble, commercial real estate bubble, the amount of unemployment that we are seeing, the jobless claims, everything is telling you something big is about to happen. And these banks like JP Morgan want to play this game. They want to rig the system. Well, the only way that you put pressure back on them is by physical gold, physical silver. We need to see prices of the physical hold. They can do whatever they want to do with paper, but if everybody starts buying the physical price goes up, and this puts pressure on the banks. Governments don't want, and banks don't want to see gold and silver go up because it begins to expose what the real inflation numbers are here in America. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The real inflation is not 2%. Look at shadowstats.com. It's 8 to 10%, even higher in certain areas of this country. When investors figure out that they don't want to be paid in dollars with these silver ETFs, that they don't want to be paid in dollars, they want to be paid in the physical. When they find out that these ETFs, like SLV, don't have silver, this is going to be a rude awakening for a lot of investors. This is when reality comes to America. You know, a lot of people who buy, paper silver believe that they're actually buying real silver. You are not. You only have real silver when you're holding it in your hands, when you have the physical. And these banks have gotten away with absolute murder by just manipulating, suppressing prices of gold and silver, by coming out in the early morning and throwing out millions and millions of ounces of paper silver in the market, smashing the price of physical. If you want to stop it, keep buying the physical. And at some point, we may see a separation between the physical market and the paper market. And people, I think, are starting to figure that out, that, hey, who cares about the paper price? What are you holding in ounces? And the more people begin to think like that and wake up, the less power these banks have. Pull your money out of the banks. Deal with a small local bank. Stop relying out of the system. Detach from the system. They want you in the system. They want to manipulate the system so they can manipulate you, make you a slave to the system. If you get rid of your debt, if you have some cash reserves, if you have some physical gold, some physical silver, you're not a debt slave. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you saving cash. They don't want you buying physical gold and physical silver. They want you paying your debts down. You know, all morning I watched some of these business shows, and they just want you to go out and buy stuff that you can't afford with money you don't have. They want you to have 10 credit cards. They want you financing the cars. They want you financing the houses. They want you financing your education. They want you financing everything. That's not independence. That's not freedom. That is slavery. That is being a debt slave. Again, I don't give financial advice here. I can only speak from experience. But when you pay your debts off, when you have a cash reserve, a cushion, when you have some gold and silver put in places you can get to, I promise you, you will sleep so good. Look, I admit there are nights where I have a difficult time sleeping because I'm watching what is going on. No matter how much gold or silver you have or how much money you have, when these bubbles burst and this economy crashes, the economy is already crashing, but when the stock market crashes, it is going to be a living nightmare. What is going to happen economically is going to spill out socially onto the streets when people lose their pensions and their 401ks and everything that they thought they had on a computer screen, digits on a screen. When that gets eaten up and disappears, people are going to panic. They are going to be angry. They are going to go absolutely berserk. And so it's going to be a very different time in America when that day comes. And so I truly believe that you need to prepare for that. It doesn't just mean having gold and silver and cash. Do you have food? Do you have water? Do you have training? Do you have security? Do you have a plan? Do you have a group, a network? Things we all better start thinking about, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it there. Crazy times. These markets are as fake as they've ever been, and there is no stopping. They're going to get more crazy, more fake, more out of control, more manipulated. The printing presses are warming up. Look for that $1.9 trillion and look for your dollar to buy less and less. Look for the job market to continue to shrink, opportunity to shrink, wealth to shrink. This is the biggest wealth transfer we have ever seen. Make sure you're doing whatever you can to prepare. It's already too late for millions of people. If you're watching this video right now, it's not too late for you. Get out, prepare the best that you can right now. This is not going to stop. We're going to wake up one day. Many of you will wake up and wish that you listened to what I'm saying today. Prepare. God bless you all.